take a trip out to the ocean. Gonna leave behind the great big sea. Got lots of friends who miss me all across the country. They can see me on MattTv, on MattTV, on MattTV, on MattTV. MattTV is recorded in front of a live audience.
It is, Joe. It certainly is. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, 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 and thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thanks for making your Snowmageddon a part of my Wednesday morning, this 14th day of March here on the south coast of British Columbia. Miles Diamond, how are you, my friend? I'm just going to close this window, go back to my MattTv Facebook page, refresh it, and we're off to the races. We're off to the races. Just let me refresh this. How is everyone doing? How is everyone making out in the Maritimes? I know it is the third nor'easter to pound the Maritimes in like the last week and a half. We're going to talk about weather coming up here real quick. So just let me refresh my page. And I will be speaking with Michelle Nowlan, who is the brainchild, the driving force behind the musical Footloose, which is happening in Woodstock. We will talk to Michelle Nowlan by phone here very shortly. So just let me scroll down so I can see my video, read the comments, and we are good to go. How is everyone? My name is Matthew. This is MattTv on Facebook Live. And some of the things we're going to talk about within the next few moments, we're going to talk about the Paralympic coverage or the lack of the coverage for the Paralympic Games in Pyeongchang, South Korea. We're going to talk about the musical Footloose. I'll be speaking with Michelle Nowlan here in just a few moments. And if anyone knows, the one thing I didn't do, to prep for this morning's show was get Michelle's number. So if Michelle Nowlan is watching the program, can you just private message me your phone number? I know it's 506, but that's the only digits I know. So if Michelle Nowlan is watching the program, just private message me your phone number so that I can call you. Yes, Jason Purvis, Janice, welcome to the program. So just let me scroll down so I can see what's happening here with the video. Here I am. Okay. We're also going to be talking with Robin Young. Now, that conversation is going to happen in another MattTv episode later today. It's going to happen at 4 p.m. Pacific time. That's 8 o'clock in the Woodstock area. It's going to be a great split-screen interview with Robin Young from North Vancouver. If you have any concerns about your health, this is a program that you are going to want to see later today at 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on MattTv on Facebook Live. We're also going to talk about the nor'easter. You can let me know how the conditions in your area. Keith Robinson just put a video up live here on Facebook just a few moments ago, and he titled it Snowmageddon, because it seems like Mother Nature has just been relentless in the white stuff falling from the sky. We're just going to quickly talk about Stephen Hawking, who passed away today. We'll quickly talk about him. We're going to talk about a massive student walkout across the United States of America. International Pi Day is today. Another tragic story coming from United Airlines. We'll talk about that briefly. And some birthday wishes going out here very quickly. So let's get right into the program. In yesterday's show, I did a show yesterday at 5 o'clock. And it went for 30 minutes. And I was quite excited that at the end of my show, I was going to be able to go inside, put on the CBC, and watch live coverage of the Paralympic Winter Games from Pyeongchang, South Korea. There was no coverage. There was absolutely nothing on TV. No live coverage, even by the CBC. So I was quite disappointed with the CBC yesterday. No live coverage of any Paralympic events from Pyeongchang, South Korea. And I always speak very highly of the CBC when it comes to getting my news source. But I was quite disappointed when I went into the house last night, getting ready to sit down to watch some live events, see Team Canada athletes and their quest for medals. And there was no coverage. There was nothing on TV last night, no live coverage of the Paralympic Winter Games from Pyeongchang. So that's just my only beef with the CBC right now. I don't understand. I don't get it. These athletes have trained for 4 years. For 4 years. It's their moment. And there's absolutely no coverage. Yeah, you might see some coverage in sports clips later in the day, but I want to see it live, man. I want to see it live. So just a little bit ticked off with the CBC and their lack of coverage of the Paralympic Games from Pyeongchang. That's my only beef. My only beef. Wayne Mason, Lori Crawley, how are you? James, welcome to the program. But that being said, very happy to announce that right now Canada sits with 5 gold medals, 1 silver, and 10 bronze. So we have 16 medals right now at this year's Paralympic Winter Games from Pyeongchang, South Korea. 5 gold, 1 silver, and 10 bronze. And if you want to know who those medals belong to, you can probably go on the internet and find out all the detailed information on how our Paralympians are doing this year. Michelle Nowlan, I will be speaking with Michelle Nowlan here very, very quickly. The only thing I don't have is Michelle Nowlan's number. So if anyone has Michelle Nowlan's number, you can private message me her number. I'm sure she doesn't want her number splashed all over the internet. I know it's 506 because that's the area code for New Brunswick. Those are the only digits that I know. Just quickly again, I will be speaking. I will be back here live at 4 o'clock this afternoon, 4 p.m. Pacific. If you have any health concerns, this is a program that you're going to want to see today, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's 8 o'clock in the Woodstock area in the Maritimes. I will be speaking with Robin Young. We're going to speak about ketosis and ketones. Very informative educational program lined up for you at 4 o'clock Pacific this afternoon. I just quickly want to talk about the weather. We had rain move in here yesterday afternoon. The rain continues to fall here on the south coast of British Columbia, and then the rain will taper off, and we may even see sun here on the south coast later today, and then we're into sunshine for the next few days. I know that is not the case for all my family and friends back east. So what are the latest conditions in the Woodstock area as the third powerful snowstorm in the last week and a half? Is that how many snowstorms have hit the Maritimes in the last week and a half? 3. I think Carolyn was on here last night. I don't think she was on here live, but she made a comment as she was watching the program at her leisure, which everyone can do. And she said there was another 12 inches of snow in her driveway. Yikes. Rain is easy. Rain is easy. Rain is very easy to shovel. Everyone out here on the West Coast, they love the rain. When you have the alternative, which is snow, we will take rain every single time. So just be careful on your commute going from point A to point B. Just be careful. Give yourself some extra travel time. We want to see you arrive at your destination safely. You probably know this by now, me being a 4-hour time difference. Okay, Lori Crawley that's her cell number. Okay, thank you, Lori. I will give Michelle a call here in a couple of minutes. Michelle is waiting for my phone call. I did invite Michelle to come on the program and do a split screen. She chose to do a phone interview, which is perfectly fine. It's all good. But yes, you probably know that world-renowned physicist Stephen Hawking passed away at the age of 76. Some very interesting numbers, but we'll get into not numbers and not necessarily the circumstances on his passing, but today marks Albert Einstein's birthday. Albert Einstein born back on this date in 1879. And I'm going to have because this is also International Pi Day, I'll have some interesting stats on Pi Day coming up here real quick. But the main focus of the program is to talk about the musical Footloose with Michelle Nowlan, and we're going to do that here real quick. Mitchell, welcome to the program. Thanks for the info on Michelle's number, Lori. I appreciate that. Reading in the news today, there were 3,000 planned walkouts in schools across the United States of America today. Why are they doing this? They are taking a stand against guns. But the big march is happening on March 24th. It's called March for Our Lives, and it will happen in Washington, D.C. They are expecting thousands and thousands of people, kids, to take part in this protest. You may have seen the images. There were 7,000 pairs of shoes left on the U.S. Capitol one of the properties, I think it was the U.S. Capitol. I think there were 7,000 pairs of shoes left on the front lawn, basically telling there were 14,000 kids have been killed by guns since Sandy Hook. I think that's a correct stat. Again, this comes from the CBC. You can check that information out. I know the protest. Here it is, 10 after 10 on the West Coast. It's 10 after 1, so I don't know when these walkouts were planned. I do know that there were an estimated 3,000 student walkouts across schools across the United States of America. So good for them. International Pie Day is today. I just want to go to my website and just give you some information on International Day for the celebration of pie. This was just an amazing stat. And I just got to read this to you. I'm just forgive me for looking at my laptop here. It's been calculated to more than 22 trillion digits. But what is pi? It's the ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter, which is approximately 3.14159. Thus the date why we celebrate it on the 14th of March, 0314. It goes on for an estimated 22 trillion digits. Now, one person, they don't say who this person is, and you can check this out online. One person has memorized the first 70,030 of those digits past the decimal point. Can you imagine? What a mind. Someone is able to memorize. You got 3.14159, and then it goes on for 22 trillion more numbers. One individual has memorized the first 70,030 of those numbers. That's just in itself incredible. That was the one thing I wanted to mention about that. So that is today, the International Day of Pie, and people celebrate it by having a slice of pie. So are you celebrating International Pie Day by having a slice of pie? Just a couple other things before I make that phone call to Michelle Nowlan, and I hope it works. Canada is backing a bid for soccer's 2026 World Cup. They will make a decision on June 13th. So if you were interested in soccer, that might be something that you want to follow. Making a decision June 13th. Will Canada be successful in its bid with Mexico to host a backing for the bid for the 2026 World Cup? I guess we'll have to wait and see. United Airlines back in the news today, not for a good story. Typically, when airlines are in the news, it's usually not a good thing. Such is the case here. Just within the last few days, an individual boarded a flight in Houston going to New York City. They had their puppy with them. Okay, that's their cell number. They had their puppy with them, and they were told by one of the flight attendants that their puppy would have to go in the overhead bin. And you can all imagine what happened. That puppy did not survive that flight. I don't understand why the flight attendant would instruct a passenger to put their animal in an overhead bin, which is clearly against regulations. And of course, United Airlines came out with a statement saying, look, it's a tragic situation. It never should have happened. So a very sad situation for the owner of the pet. And I'm sure the flight attendant feels bad. And I'm sure everyone involved feels bad that a life was lost unnecessarily. There has to be, I know there are situations, maybe it's for bigger dogs. Bigger dogs are in crates and they travel with the luggage underneath the plane. I don't know the full circumstances. Just bad judgment on the side of the flight attendant and even on the side of the passenger who put that, ultimately it was the owner that put this puppy up into the overhead bin. Just a tragic situation. Like I said, whenever you hear airlines in the news, it's generally not good. Gloria, good morning. How are you? And just before I make this phone call to Michelle Nowlan to talk about the upcoming musical Footloose, I just want to wish a happy birthday to Elaine Norton. Elaine celebrating a birthday today, and my brother's son and my nephew Keegan is turning 8 years old today. Keegan is the youngest of Mike's kids. So Keegan, love you. I miss you. I miss everyone in Pincher Creek, the whole family, the whole clan that is up there. I just miss everyone. It's been a long time since I've seen those kids. So happy birthday, Keegan. Have a great birthday. Happy 8th birthday to Keegan Grant. Okay, that's just all the notes that I had. So I'm just going to turn the spotlight, and we're going to focus our attention on the newest musical that is coming to Woodstock. It's Footloose. So what I'm going to do right now, I do have Michelle Nowlan's. This is my wife's phone, so I'm going to give Michelle Nowlan a call. Going to be calling her cell phone, so I'm just going to do that right now, so just bear with me. It's all live, and we'll get the ins and outs of the musical. I was talking with Michelle Nowlan yesterday, and it sounds like it's going to be a great production. She's really stoked about it, and you can actually see the trailer for this musical production. It's airing before every movie at Atlantic Cinemas in Woodstock, New Brunswick. So very, very cool. Okay, here we go. I'm going to call her cell. We're just going to put her on speakerphone here.
Hello.
Hi, Michelle. It's Matthew. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. I started my broadcast, and I realized that I totally forgot your number, so I put a message out there. I put a request out there, and Lori Crawley sent me your cell number through a private message. So
Yeah, she sent me a text saying, Matthew, I sent Matthew your number. And I said, didn't he already have it? I talked to him last night.
I know, but your number is on my phone, which is what I'm broadcasting off. So, but I'm calling you. I'm calling you from Jen's phone. So thanks for taking the time to chat with me today.
Well, thanks for having me on.
So when we talked yesterday, your crystal ball was correct because you were pretty adamant that there would be no school today.
Storm Day Predictor does not lie, my friend.
How many storm days have you experienced this year?
Not enough.
Not. No, but seriously, it seems like every time there's a storm in that area, the school shut down for good reason. Are we talking? Have students lost like a week of school time? Are we that far?
We may have had about 5. I'm thinking it could be more or less, give a day or two, but we've had at least 5. I would say so, probably, but. They run our schools longer knowing that there's going to be some of those days. So, give or take. And if it gets too much, they'll, get us to do things like cancel like a winter carnival or a week where, the workload isn't as heavy.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's no fun. Like if you take away a winter carnival, what about the lip syncs?
Oh, you know what? Trina Jones and I had a conversation the other day about doing a fundraiser for next year's musical and doing one of our old-fashioned lip syncs.
Oh, wouldn't that be
and
something?
I said, we can't do that until we get Heavy all on the, because I would love for him to MC, since you and Peter are so far away, see if we could maybe recreate the Black Cat group and Heavy D and the Boys.
The Boys. Listen, if you were to organize a lip sync for Winter Carnival, I would probably fly home just for that.
Well, I would definitely organize a winter lip sync at some point. We had so much fun doing those.
Oh, it was. I
was usually the organizer, not usually in them. I like to organize better to actually do them, but.
And you are, even all these 25, 26 years after high school, you are still organizing great events, which is the reason we're going to have this conversation right now. You are getting ready for the musical Footloose. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so we have the most talented cast, I think, to ever grace Woodstock High School stage since maybe the class of 1991. They are really musically strong, like epically strong. They are the choreography in this show is like astronomical. We have the three former Miss Woodstocks, Deidre Allaby, Caitlin Havens, and the amazing Caroline Fletcher, who did all the choreography for this show. There are 10 full dance production numbers, which is more than most shows. I mean, we have some other musical numbers that don't have like complete full-on dance mode, but we have 10 full crazy magical numbers. Our opening is 7 minutes long, and it's almost full dance. So it's really a high energy musical show. Like, my job was the easiest out of everybody because, you know, I just directed the blocking and along with Chantal Colbert.
Okay.
The most work really was through Caroline and her team and Will Davidson, who did all the music and is doing the pit band as well. We have a huge pit band, so it's really cool.
Now,
and our sets, props, and costumes were all organized and orchestrated through Trina Jones, who's Sean Jones's wife, and she's amazing. Like, she takes a small peanut of a dream and turns it into like the beanstalk of all. You know, it's just incredible.
how many kids are in the cast, and are all the kids from the same school, Michelle?
So everyone's from Woodstock High School. We have between 45 and 50 kids. We have student directors, student stage managers. The boy who's doing lighting is, his name's Josh Killam, has been at almost every rehearsal helping with lighting and sound. He's amazing. He's a master. He's moved, you know, what he's done with lighting is really amazing. We have an exchange student from China who's been here, will graduate here in June, who will have been here 18 months. She's our stage manager. She just got accepted to Ryerson University to do performance production. And amazing kid. Her name's Sycamore. We love her. And then we've had some student team leaders for communication and ones that have helped run noon hour choreography meetings and practices. And so we have a really big team of students and kids. They've just been really committed and on board with everything. They trust us. It's a new directing team. This is, you know, Christy and Brad worked so many years and produced so many amazing shows. So it's new to us, but we are a really strong team, and this is a strong cast. This is a show people do not want to miss. Like, they'll really feel bad if they miss it. There's no matinee. We're only doing 3 shows. We chose not to do a matinee because there's some language and, you know, adult content, but nothing that kids don't see on normal, regular TV every day. But, you know, we're in Woodstock, and I'd rather warn people of that than for them to be shocked, you know. And it's mostly my kid, you know, that does all the swearing, of course. My son Alex is playing Willard Hewitt, who is the cowboy who can't dance or talk to girls. And it's awesome. He sings a song called Mama Says, and the kids all laugh because, you know, I say a lot and he does what I tell him, so, you know, which is kind of funny. And we have Rachel Havens, who is a vocal genius. She plays Rusty and sings Let's Hear It for the Boy and does an amazing job on it. We have Macaulay Martin, who is Krista and Mike Martin's son. He's an amazing vocalist and actor. He's playing Ren McCormick, and his female counterpart, Lauren McDougall, is Ariel, and she's a senior, and she's really risen to the occasion, gave up a lot of commitments just to do this part. And we have Reverend Moore, who's played by Declan Ryan, who's the younger brother of Alex Ryan, who did Woodstock High School musicals for years. So, I mean, we have a really strong cast.
Excellent. Who made the decision to go with the musical Footloose? How much time have you invested in it? And financially, like, what is it costing to put this together? And is the community behind this? Obviously they are, but are they behind you in contributing financially in any way?
So we met as a directing team last spring. We did something different because not all of us had worked with this group of kids before. I had worked with some of them through middle school, but we decided to do something called a pick your show audition. So we got kids who were interested in being in the musical to come one night, and they could prepare a little monologue, and Caroline taught them like a small chunk of a dance just to see what they're and they sang a little something just to see where the skills lie, meaning like if they were really strong vocally but not so much in dance, we'd have to pick a show that was really strong vocally but not as much dance. If they were really strong dance wise but not vocally, so we wanted to kind of really pick a show that best fit all these kids. We had a short list of, we kind of got together and discussed, some shows that were interesting to us that we would have fun doing and could buy into. So we had about 5 shows on our short list. Footloose was kind of at the top, but we knew we couldn't do that show unless, A, we had the vocal abilities to do it, but also the dancing. We knew it was a high impact, heavy show. So, they came and they rose to the occasion, and the minute they walked out, we looked at them and went, wow, we can do this show. And we knew that that this was the one for us. So it just kind of it's played into it. We met as a directing team quite a bit this summer to kind of figure out timelines and how we wanted this program to look. Christy and Brad have been running this program for a long time, but retired last year from it. And, they did things their way, and it worked for them. But we knew we were a different group of 4, so we had to figure out how it was going to work for us. I already had some other commitments with middle school that I had already committed to, so, the time frame, we had to try something different. And so, we've been working on this since last spring, really, as a directing team. And then we did the auditions right before school started, and we've been going at it ever since. Financially, it was an expensive show. The administration has been extremely supportive. The kids do pay a drama fee, so that helped to secure the rights to the show. And then over and above, we have a lot of really great company sponsors. Trina was able to get an architect to help design our sets, where our pit band is going to be directly underneath the staging. We wanted to make sure it was structurally sound. Keenan Construction and Top Quality Builders and Weeb Construction, or Weeb Hardware, helped with donating of materials and building of sets. So we had some really great help that way. Best Westerns helping us with a lot of our breakfast that we have planned for the Sunday morning after the show, where we're going to do all our recognition and community thank yous and reveal the show for next year, which we're super excited about. So we've had a lot of support from the community, huge support from members of the pit band. We have 3 community members, Tim Culbert and Amanda Craig and Cindy Davidson, who are volunteering their time to come and be part of the pit band, along with Christian Morell and Andy Lee and Brandon Woodcock and Devin Bustard, the 4 students that we have that are in the pit band. So, you can't do this show without live music, and to be able to do it with live music is an extra challenge, but it's exciting because, it's live music, and, it's better than doing it to a track. We have loved working with the pit band, and it's fun. So, we've had a tremendous community support. Atlantic Cinemas let us do a fundraiser there in the fall, where we watched the 80s version of Footloose, sold tickets, and they donated all the proceeds from the tickets back into the musical. And, we've had a lot of parent and other community support. with advertising and different things. The community is really excited about this show.
Excellent.
Everybody is excited about Footloose. It's a iconic show, and we're really excited about producing and showing it. We have a lot of really strong rehearsals coming up. We have a 11-hour rehearsal on Saturday, 7-hour rehearsal Sunday, 5 hours on Monday and Tuesday night each. And then we're going to give them a rest on Wednesday, and we go at shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So
yeah. So is the show itself happening at the Woodstock High School Theater? That's where it's happening.
Yes. So
okay.
It's now called the McCain Community Theater.
Okay.
But yes, it's at Woodstock High School. Tickets you can get at Home Zone Electronics, and also at the Woodstock High School. Scott Dunlop not only helped build a lot of sets, he's the owner of Home Zone, but is a huge supporter. He and his family are a huge supporter of Woodstock High School Musical, and so he's been a tremendous support as well. They're doing all the ticket sales for us. Toby Grant, your cousin,
yes,
is doing the videography for us and did our trailer. We have a little movie trailer. Check it out online. It's on my Facebook page, and it's on loop at Home Zone, and it's also being shown as an advertisement or a promo at Atlantic Cinemas. Before you watch your movie, you'll see this 20-second trailer of our show. So we're really super excited about that. Toby did an awesome job, and the trailer features our kids. It's really cute. I love it. So yeah, we're stoked. I can't wait.
Oh, that's excellent. And the dates for the show are March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. So is that next Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Next Thursday, Friday, Saturday. A week from tomorrow night is opening night.
Okay. And what time? When is showtime? What time of the day?
It's at 7:00.
Okay.
Tickets are $12, and it's assigned seating. And I would not suggest showing up there that night without your ticket. We will be sold out. I have no doubt. I'm that confident. Scott already let me know that we're probably going to need the high school's tickets up at Home Zone soon, because they have been selling like hotcakes.
Excellent.
So if you want a chance to see this show, you best be going out and getting your ticket early, or you run the risk of losing out on a great opportunity.
What's the seating capacity of the theater?
We ordered 350 tickets, and that per show. That gives you the floor up to the balcony. We didn't do tickets for the balcony or the row behind the glass. We figured we'd leave that for overflow if we need it. But we are expecting 350 people per night, so it's going to be worth your money. You
Excellent.
will not be disappointed.
Michelle, here's a personal question. Just the last question before I let you go, because I know you're busy with, I don't know, maybe you're going to go out and shovel the driveway or something.
Actually, I'm cooking supper. I'm actually having a meal at home for the first time in a month. My husband said to me, what, no McDonald's or DQ? Like, my body's going to go through with withdrawals. So I'm actually, on this storm day, I'm actually going to cook food for my family. We're actually going to have supper, so
wow,
that's kind of exciting in our household.
Did you, when you were in high school, Michelle, you were always a part of committees, and you're just a social butterfly, and I just absolutely love you. Did you see yourself doing this type of stuff when you were in high school? Was what you're doing now, was that seed planted many, many years ago?
I really loved musicals. We kind of revived musicals here. They had done them long before we were in school, and then they kind of died out. But when we were in grade 11, we did Grease, and then in grade 12, we did Hello Dolly. And I loved it. I loved being part, whether I had a small role or a big role. I just loved being part of the cast, and that was a good outlet for me because I was always a singer. Mm-hmm. I love to sing, and it makes me happy to do stuff like that. But when I went to work doing the job that I'm doing now, and met my friend Larry, who did drama at the Southern Carleton School. It was an elementary school back then. I told them, I said, I'd love to help you. Like, I used to do this in high school, and I'd really love to help you. And I got into it, and I haven't stopped since. Whether it was being a part and organizing the Provincial Elementary Drama Festival, or helping with elementary plays, and then middle school. I moved on to middle school when his son went to middle school. I've never not done it since then, and actually Caroline was probably in my second or third year of helping Larry, and now she's working with me as part of my directing team, and I've always loved it. It's a really good outlet for me. I love making those connections with the kids. The kids that are in this cast are kids that I've had at middle school level, and we're in elementary. They also came to drama camp. One kid I'm really super proud of is Sarah Slip. That would be John and Darla's daughter. She's now at Ross A. Netherwood School, but just was in a production of Heathers, and she was one of the 3 Heathers. She came to drama camp as a shy little kid in grade 1 who, was just the quietest little thing, and now she's, taking leads in plays in St. John, and I'm proud that she's told me that I had a little part to play in that. Not everybody can be the star basketball player or the star hockey player or be president of the student council. But one thing I'm really proud of, anyone who wants to be in musical will be in musical. Whether they're in a wheelchair or whether they're the most talented kid out there, I'm really a firm believer that if they want to be involved, we'll find them a role that will fit them, and I'm proud of that. It's an inclusive place for anyone who wants to enjoy the arts should be, and we're like a family. So, I take pride in that, and it's the same vision that the other directors have as well. So, this is the one place where anybody who doesn't fit in anywhere else, they can fit in here. That makes me happy. That's
that last little bit that you said is you just hit it right on the head. It's that sense of inclusion where you don't want to. Everyone should be involved in whatever they want to be involved in. Everyone has a part to play because it takes, as we know, it takes a lot of people to put a production together.
Oh yeah, if I listed all the people that have participated and helped with this production, it would be 3 or 4 pages long. There, even the secretaries at the high school, the administrative assistants, my mom, other people's parents, and the other thing is I'm getting a chance to work with a lot of the kids that I went to school with their parents. This was our musical back in the day. This was our movie, and this was something that we, participated in and watched and loved. And so it's kind of fun for me to say, to Naomi Sharp, you're going to love this, and Joanne Ritzy, and, people that we went to school with, and now I'm working with their kids. So,
excellent.
That's really fun for me.
Excellent. We're going to leave it at that, Michelle. Just to let people know that the show is happening. Just one show a day. That's next Thursday, Friday, Saturday at the Woodstock High School in the McCain Theater.
Yes.
Okay.
Get your tickets, and I'm really glad we got a chance to talk. And I will let you know if we decide to do a lip sync.
Please do. But let's before we get to the lip sync, let's talk when the production is over and you've had a time just to kind of chill out for a couple days, feel free to call the show back, or we'll set up another interview, just like a post-production, just to let people know how it went. For all those that didn't go.
Yeah, I will for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't stop, though, just so you know. I go right from this into elementary drama. They're doing their production, and I'm doing all the costuming for that, and basketball and spring soccer, and, I go right from one thing right into another.
I know.
Sometimes 4 or 5 things at the same time, but anyway.
I get tired just listening to you and all your activities that you're up to.
Yeah, well, I don't sleep, and I usually run an IV for coffee, so that's pretty much what I run on. So
well, listen.
I think if I started to bleed, it would come out, it wouldn't be decaf, that's for sure.
Well, listen, Michelle,
Thanks for calling me, and thanks for having me on the show and having a chance to talk and brag up these kids. So.
Okay. Michelle, thanks for your time. Just one final thing. I'm doing a show at 4 o'clock. If you are, it's 8 o'clock your time. It's a show that you and everyone else should be a part of. So just to give you the heads up, I'm doing another live Matt TV at 4 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Atlantic time. It might be something you want to check it. It'll be a split screen with a gentleman by the name of Robin Young from North Vancouver. We're going to talk about if you want to just be healthier, this is a program that you're going to want to check out.
Is he going to promote me giving up coffee?
Here's the beauty. You don't necessarily have to give up anything. That's the beauty of this.
Okay, then
So-
I'm in.
Okay.
I'm in. I think my body would shut down if I had to give that up.
Okay, Michelle, love you. Congratulations
Love you too.
and good luck on the upcoming Footloose musical production at Woodstock High
Yes,
School.
big hugs to Jen and Kai.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Okay, bye-bye. Bye. Absolutely love her. Michelle Nowlan from South Brighton, Southampton. She's on the other side of the St. John River in Lower Woodstock, and always great to chat with Michelle Nowlan. There will be another, that's going to do it for me. We are at 19 minutes away from 11 o'clock here on the south coast of British Columbia. Thanks for all the live views. I see Keith Robinson is in here. Keith is probably just taking a break from shoveling snow, as many of you might be doing the same thing, because I don't know if the snow is still falling in the Woodstock area, but I know you were dumped on for the third time in less than 2 weeks. So just, if you are traveling, just be safe getting from point A to point B. There will be a brand new Matt TV later on today at 4 o'clock Pacific time. That's 8 o'clock in the Woodstock area. I will be speaking with, I'll be speaking with Robin Young. I wanted to say Nathan, but that's not it. Robin Young. I'll be speaking with Robin Young about ketosis and ketones. I put a couple links up and some information on that on my own personal page. You can check it out. But if you have any questions about your health and you want to be a healthier individual, it is a program that you're going to want to see later on today, 4 o'clock Pacific, right here on Facebook Live on Matt TV. That's going to do it for me. Thanks for, the sun is out in PEI and it's still snowing in the Maritimes. We got overcast conditions and drizzle here on the south coast of British Columbia. We are expecting sun later today and then right in for the next few days. The weather is just so much better out here on the west coast. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you back here in a few hours. My name is Matthew. This is Matt TV. Now and always, from sea to sea.